Um, really quickly, Marcus, if you noticed in that link, you seen how much more the Asians make than white men? It's like by like almost $300 more a week, right? Do you think white women are saying, "Why you can't be more like the Asian men"? Do you think any white woman is saying that shit to their white man, right? No, they're not doing that dumb shit because they understand that it makes no sense at all, right? But AP, to answer your question, and Marcus, please don't hate me. I am literally moving with the individualism movement. I'm with it, bro. I think that's what it needs to be. I think men need to not even worry about marriage. Marriage for men shouldn't be a concept until they at least, I would argue, 40, mm, somewhere in between 40 and 45. It shouldn't even be a concept, bro. At this point, it doesn't make any sense to do it as a black man. 90% of men make under six figures. So it just makes no sense for you to do it. I met a man the other day. I was at the clerk's office and this guy come in. He's pushing those, Marcus, those 5-gallon water jugs that they turn over upside down into the cooler so you can get your water. He was pushing a big ass cart of these, right? I'm like, and I could see the little grail, and I'm like, damn, man, you ain't done yet. He like, man, I'm retiring in June, right? We start having more of a conversation. Just got divorced last year after 30 years. 55 years old. Now he back out here. Now he got his shit set up, right? He got the bag. He got his retirement. He got military. He got all kind of shit. So 55, he pushing them waters around, healthy as an ox. You know what I'm saying? Really attractive, handsome guy. You know what I'm saying? And 55 years old, and he back out here on the market, bro. You see what I'm saying? After giving somebody 30 years, now he paying her $1,100 a month in alimony. It just ain't worth it to me. Just wait until you get to that point where you're old enough, where an older woman who is done thinking she all that, done thinking she can have all this shit she don't qualify for. Wait till you're old enough to get that woman who will more than likely, right, have quelled some of that insatiability that women have, where nothing ain't good enough. To me, I think that's the point. Now, should you have kids during that period between 18 and 40? Maybe. But to Shan's point, I think if you're going to do that, y'all have to really be buckled down at being great co-parents. If you're not having that same kind of vetting process and conversation with this woman to understand what you're getting yourself into, don't even have the kids. Just wait, bro, because it's a waste of time. Marcus, the average marriage in the black community lasts 5.5 years. The average age for a black man to get married, 31. The average age for a black woman, 29 and 30. Think about this, Marcus. When do men hit their financial peaks?
I think it's like 37 or something like that.
Most people would tell you it's in their 40s, right? So think about this. My financial peak ain't gonna even be to my 40s. I'm gonna marry you at 31. You're gonna give me 5 years. You ain't even gonna wait until I get to my financial peak. You're gonna give me 5 years into my 30s and then leave me. It's a waste of time. Individualism now, individualism forever. Fight the power.
So I'm glad you answered, because I was gonna follow up about the kids and you beat me to it. Yeah. I understand. I fully disagree with you. Yeah, but that's okay. Like, I understand exactly where you're coming from, brother. Marcus, what?
All right, so yeah, I disagree. I disagree heavily. No, I as long as we don't do the ad hominems, I appreciate every different perspective, because we can actually have an exchange of ideas.
Absolutely.
So I think that the solution wouldn't be to wait that long. It would be to vet for different characteristics. I think that as men, we want everything packaged in a formula that allows for you to say, I did A, I get B. I did C, I get D. And that's not really how women operate.
No, it's not.
And in understanding how they operate, they have a formula too. Their formula is kind of like, I want A, I'll take B. If B is better than I thought it was going to be, then I'm happy forever. I want A, I'll take B. If B is better than I thought it would be, then I'm happy forever. But we'll hear it come off as I have insatiable hypergamy. I'm always going to be looking to turn the there are specific women who operate like that. That's not all women. Unfortunately, it seems like men have been choosing to date those type of women at a higher clip, or using information on the internet that they see as the representation of women and believing that that's been the representation for all women. Though the women that's gold diggers, and the funny thing about those women that are extremely have insatiable hypergamy, they tend to look really, really good. They tend to have BBL bodies, and they tend to be extremely pretty, and they tend to be able to skirt and circumvent vetting because they're so attractive that men will ignore a lot of the signs from
it. Are you trolling?
I'm dead ass serious. You don't think that? So most of the Instagram, the women that you're talking about, a lot of them are on Instagram, right?
No. I'm not. You're talking about them. I'm talking about you know what? First of all, I want to thank you. That was a great analogy that you used with the grading system, and it just gave me one. I think I'm gonna add this to my repertoire, because I will argue that every woman wants A.
Mm-hmm.
The majority of them qualify for D. They get C, and they mistreat him because he won't be B.
Okay,
That's what it usually looks like.
So using that same analogy, I think that the same way we grade women on a specific way, they also grade us in a different way. And the way we think they grade us might not necessarily be the way that they grade us. And it's supported by some of the crazy stuff they say when they lying online about what their standard is.
Wait.
Case in point.
Wait, Mark, let me answer this. Do you consider the women that we have on these podcasts as a viable, reputable source for to reference?
No.
What?
No.
I knew it had to be no, because I'm like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? Like, bro, we've had 3 years of thousands of women at this point hitting all of these pounders, from the Kevin Samuels to the everybody, bro. Not just all the dingbats, but the regular girls.
So, all right. The thing about those women, right, is you would get a Lady Di, you would get an Inaz, you would get Shan, you would get women that we won't really count in that population of those women because they overshadowed by the antics of the other women. Women operate off attention. In this space specifically, to get the attention they want, fighting with men is the best way. Going in the chat, calling you every type of name in the book is how women get known. I bet you could name me the top 5 trolls, but you might not be able to name me the top 5 women that are just nice and come in the chat outside of probably Love C. You know what I'm saying? You could think of 3 names.
But I get your point.
I don't agree, Marcus. I'm sorry. You know darn well. You know darn well the women that you think are like Inaz and Shan, all the brothers know those women, but they also know the trolls. But they want to deal, and they feel very protective of the women that are more so the women that most men would like. But of course, here's another thing that you didn't mention, and none of what you said is exactly what one of the ladies said. There is a strong level of intersectionality when there's some overlap with some of the women that you think are viable women and some of the average women and some of the best and the worst. There's overlap with some of the mentalities, and the smart women don't tell you how they truly feel. Yeah. They tell you, you talk to them long enough and you get a decent amount of information to where you feel like it's feasible. But if you really were to check them, and when they're comfortable and they feel safe, they're not going to tell you some of the stuff that they really have done, what they really have said, and what they really believe, because they ain't not dumb enough to give up the ghost.
Well, I agree that that's true. I think that people who come and put themselves on display on social media, for the most part, have specific personality traits, right? And that's why you go get an overabundance of the behaviors that would seem like an overall representation, but I think that that's absolutely the largest, a large minority, because it's rare that women who gonna act like Inaz is gonna come in groves to sit on the panels, because a lot of this stuff, when it comes to arguing and getting into it, because a lot of this stuff devolves into name calling and mudslinging. A lot of like the women that are actually like solid women that I'm talking about, they don't want to deal with that. They don't want to be a part of that. And those women won't appear in skits. They probably, if they do have social media, their page is private. They family is like over them in some way, shape, or form, or they just isolate themselves and they don't have a huge social media presence. So those women, we can't tell how many they are, but they won't be representative of the overall dating pool if we was to use online as the metric in which we judge women. I take this with an extreme grain of salt. The same way that women think every man make over 6 figures is the same way a lot of men think all these women is ratchet, because that's what we have the most access to virtually.
Yeah, but not ratchet though. See, this is what I'm saying. Like, Marcus, don't forget the extremes, right? Just regularly. I was gonna clip it, but I don't know. I'm maybe you might remember it was this one particular video. The girl was up there with Kevin Samuels. She had the big ass black butterfly tattoo on her chest. She looked every bit like she was Esther Rose's daughter. She had one of those Roman ass eyeballs. And she sat in front of that camera and said, "So I'm supposed to settle for a regular dude?" And then when Kevin tried to show her, like, you're less than regular, you're less than average, you're not that attractive, you're overweight, you got 2 kids, and she still had the audacity to say, "So this just a regular girl." This is how women, bro, there's no woman that you're gonna get to come on a panel and say, "You know what, I believe that I qualify for a regular guy. That's actually what I qualify." No, they all believe I have this thing. It's called a vagina. And because I have that, I deserve whatever kind of man I want, regardless to what I'm bringing to the table. Trauma, drama, kids, bullet wounds, scars, don't matter. Right? They all believe that. So that I'm talking about from a relationship standpoint. How are you going to treat me? Think about this. And I really wish I could get you to respond to anybody. I really wish one of the women could respond to this. Do you think it's possible, Marcus, for me to treat a woman right if I believe I'm settling for her?
For you, yes.
Is it because it's me or is it because I'm a man?
Probably because men in general can treat a woman
Now,
right.
make me a woman. Do you think the same statement is true?
No.
And that's what I'm saying. Most women believe they're settling, Marcus. They all really think that they could get the millionaire nigga, the 6-figure nigga, the tall nigga, the light-skinned nigga with bad hair, the dark-skinned nigga with good dreads. They all think, I can have that nigga, I can have that. They all make the same arguments all the time. Regular chicks, not the Instagram goofy, BBL dumb-minded chicks, just regular girls. None of them don't think they single because they can't actually get the man they qualify for. They tell themselves that nigga don't exist or he already married. I'm telling you.
I would agree with you that
being right. They're not going to be able to.
I 100% agree with you that they say that. I don't know if I necessarily believe they believe that, and I'll tell you why. Like when they ask those women to grade themselves, right? They had this thing where they all gonna say they are 10. And if somebody says they're 8, it's not because they don't think they're 8 and they actually believe they're 10. It's because they view it as a representation of their self-esteem. And it's like saying I'm depressed by not putting yourself at the highest number. The social
even when the question is about your looks.
Yes, even when it's the way that they interpret embarrassment and the way that the way that they brain like interprets information and what they'll voice. Women
so you believe that it's more so interpretation than delusion.
Yeah, I think it's more interpretation than delusion because
you might be right.
Unless she stays single for her entire life, she's had a man that she's dated before. And if that man wasn't the tip top of the men that she's thinking, she actually knows what she qualifies for in real life. Will she tell you that though? It's like her saying, "I'm depressed," in the way that they interpret in a speech come out. Enos, can you agree or disagree? Speaking towards the majority of the way women think in regards to what I'm saying?
I agree. And you see it in the way when these women who don't qualify for those men, the way that they deal with those men. It's not the same confidence and vigor that they approach men that they do qualify for, or might be just above what they qualify for. There's either more of a timidness, a shyness, or there's like way more aggression with that man. I don't know why it's doing that. Sorry. It's one or the other. So I fully agree with Marcus.